Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first Atulit's Trainer Matrix panel discussion. Today, we are not here for safe answers or generic talking. We are here for bold ideas, hot takes that challenge the way we think about training and coaching. Joining me today are four brilliant trainers Abhijit, Simarpreet, Rahila, and Pushpa. Each of them will share a hot take in just 2 minutes, a statement that might be provocative, but will definitely get us thinking differently. Let's dive straight in. So, Abhijit, let's start with you. What's your hot take?
Sure. So my hot take is in this age of information overload, storytelling is a tool by which you create the anchor for engagement by the audience. And one of the training ROIs is to measure the KPIs which actually signal the learning or a training intervention. So my hot take is that if your storytelling is derived from the work desk of your audiences, then they relate to your advisories absolutely clearly without the added overhead of adapting generic storytelling to their unique needs and demands. So my punchline would be storytelling captured from the audience desks makes the most impact in terms of uh, improving those KPIs which signaled a learning intervention. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, over to you, Simarpreet. What's your hot take?
Yes, so my hot take would be to listen to the your audience before you plan your training. This would active listening, it's very crucial for understanding the needs and concerns of your participants. And trainers, they should prioritize creating a safe space for participants to share their thoughts and feedbacks. What happens is, by listening more, the trainers can identify their areas of improvement and tailor the training strategies to meet their specific needs for their audience. And this approach also helps to build credibility and trust with their participants. And then listening would also help trainers to adapt their approach. Like, by sometimes it's not what they are saying. Sometimes you need to pay attention to the non-verbal cues and the participant feedback. The trainers can then adjust their delivery to better meet the needs of their audience. So I'm always into more listening. Thank
Okay,
you.
interesting. Thank you, Simarpreet. Rahila, what's your hot take?
My hot take is trainers' power isn't in giving the right answers, but the right questions. Okay, for example, you're conducting a training session on time management, and you ask a question: is time management important? The answer you would get is yes, or they would just nod their head. But if you ask them, what is your daily routine which is wasting your time, and how can you change it? That will trigger the learner to think about their own challenges and find solutions and connect practically and personally. So I think asking the right questions can improve the thinking capability of the learner so that they understand the concept more clearer and it can be relatable to them. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Simarpreet, can we have you on mute, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Rahila. That was indeed very, very interesting. And
You're welcome.
yes, over to you, Pushpa.
So, hi everyone, and my take is that the trainer's real power doesn't lie in having all that knowledge, but it is about building the connections. See, we have heard this phrase for a very long time, knowledge is power. Yes, knowledge makes everyone equipped with information. But what is the point having that knowledge encaptivated in the brain? Unless and until we are able to make that connections well, we are not going to make the impact. The true transformation will begin only when there is proper connections made and the real transformation of knowledge will occur. So we see that even we all have experienced, I believe, when we were in schools, we would connect with the teacher most who would take examples from the students, take their names, or ask their experiences. I think same happens in the training room also. When we share real life scenarios, and that is why it is important to include stories in the training sessions. So that is why we include case studies, real life examples. If I say five effective methods of managing stress, I can get all that information. It is not, it is easily available. There are so many AI tools that will give you five effective methods of stress management. But when I say that this is one method which I have implemented in my daily routine and I have managed to effectively manage stress, this is where the audience will be able to relate. We have so many YouTube content creators, right? They share information, but the most famous are the ones who take everyday scenarios, and when the audience see them, they feel okay, yes, this happens with me also. So that is where the connection is important. Yes, it is very important for a trainer to have a sound knowledge, in and out knowledge of the topic, but that knowledge is available everywhere. Only when the trainer is able to create an impact through connections, a true learning will begin. So this is my opinion.
Excellent. Very, very nicely put, Pushpa.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. So, yes, now let's mix it up a bit. I'm going to throw you some prompts, and I would like each one of you to give me your opinion in, say, about 30 to 40 seconds, if that's okay with you. Is that okay with you
Yes.
all? You can unmute
Yes.
yourselves.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Okay. Right. Um, so, out of the hot takes you just heard, which one resonates with you the most and why? Let me start it with Simmerpreet here.
Yes, so just now what Pushpa said, that relating to things to your personal self, when you talk about something that you have implemented, the participant feels, yes, this has happened, this problem was there and it has been sorted. So that ways they get a confidence that, yes, here are the answers to my queries. They know that, and things become more comfortable. The trainer comes down to the level, yes, I've been there and done it. So that is how they're able to relate. And since they are comfortable, they open up more, and then they are able to, you come to know what exactly are their requirements, and where do they need extra help. And then when things are more comfortable, you're able to uh, like coordinate better and help each other better.
Okay. Thank you, Simmerpreet. Right. Let's go to Rahila. Rahila, which one do you like the best and why?
Yeah, I would relate with Pushpa's build connection. Because with knowledge, you can only share the information. It is only when you build that connection, you can actually get that impact on the learners. So I would say a proverb: knowledge informs, connection transforms. Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Over to you, Abhijit. Which one resonates with you the most?
Okay, so I think each one stitches the part of the solution in a wholesome manner. So picking one of them would actually weaken the entire solution. But in case I had to pick one, I would pick the common vein of listening. So even if you have empathy, but if you don't listen, then the problem scope is not defined in the trainer's mind first, because the trainer has to provide a solution in respect of the problem scope. So the thing that would resonate would be listening. And what a key takeaway from listening is that you seemingly keep practicing upon being inclusive and brief at the same time, because in this age of information overload, micro learning is taking up a lot of traction, and that doesn't need to be restricted only to YouTube videos. It could be restricted to your explanation lengths as well. I mean, the length of time that you take up to explain things, until unless the subject demands that detailed explanation is required, because not all audiences will align with brief explanation. So for me, the takeaway is listening. That's one thing. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. What about you, Pushpa? What did you like?
For me, I completely agree with Rahila. See, as trainers, we are humans. We are supposed to have a sound knowledge, sound answers of all the questions. But we are not AI. We cannot have all the answers. And in training sessions, I don't think the questions pop like what is square root of 25, which have one specific answer, right? So the answers totally depend upon what is the perspective of the individual, how he has taken up the concept. And I believe each and every individual have different perspective. So as a trainer, it is we who should be asking the right question and derive the answers from the audience. So that is one thing that I completely agree with.
Great. So, the second prompt. Let me see how you respond to this. I'm really interested in, your perspective. So, if you had to challenge or add a twist to someone else's hot take, what would you say? Uh, this is like open. Whoever is ready to share.
Sounds a little difficult to me, uh, but yes, at times I feel what Simarpreet has said, that listening to the audience and then preparing. So at times I may defer to this statement, that I believe that preparing first gives a route to start with, and then maybe we can flexibly modify the things, because it is not about starting from scratch. It is making a route to begin, and maybe then with the inputs of the audience, reach that point. So listening is, yes, important, but a little preparation before listening is important, I believe.
Great. Excellent. What about you, Abhijit? What do you think or resonates less with
See,
you?
resonates less with me. I think
Yeah.
everything resonates very well. So, if I understood your question, that what is the twist that you can give to the hot takes which
Okay,
have been
even that.
discussed
Yes.
by, yeah. So, what I would, the twist that I would suggest is that if you are doing a session on transferable skills to an industry, to an industry personnel, uh, towards, I mean, for industry personnel, you don't have any exposure to their business at all. So, for example, you come from, say, IT and you're doing something for, say, medical devices, although medical devices is seeped into IT today, but still. So the twist would be to make them uh, explain their domain to you, the trainer itself. So, what is the takeaway for the trainer? The trainer's takeaway is how well they are positioned to explain a person in simple words, something which is very complex towards the listener. So, that is one. So, the trainer can decide upon strategies to build upon their simplicity. What is in it for the trainer as a takeaway? So the trainer gets to know the problems of personal working in this industry, so that the next training assignment comes up from another organization in this industry, for example. So that expands the trainer's portfolio in terms of the scope of influence. Right? And the other thing that the trainer could understand is that how are the transferable skills adapted for people in this industry. So, for example, communication skills for a research scientist would be a little different from the communication skills of a seller in some other industry. So, the twist would be uh, to drive the audience in doing something that they are not so familiar with, saying things in simple words. For the trainer, the twist is to understand a domain which is ambiguous at this point in time. So
Okay.
that's how I would like to bring in a twist. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhijit. Yes. Over to who's ready to speak now?
Yes, so what I would like to say, I would once again want to throw light on what I said after listening to Pushpa. Yes, Pushpa is absolutely right. When we have a session, we need to prepare beforehand. We need to have a sort of goal ready, what is today's agenda, and sort of a script ready. But then again, the suppose this is our first session, so we need not stick just to the script. What we need to have in mind is the adaptability and responsiveness to the audience's needs. So what we make ourselves is flexible, adjust the approach, and then we plan our next session accordingly. That would
So, if I
make
can
learning very
interrupt
quick.
you now. Uh,
Yes.
so, yes, we've heard Pushpa's perspective. We have had your answer for that. And but what would be your twist to another person's hot take? We have Rahila, Abhijit, and Pushpa.
So once again, the concept of storytelling, let the storytelling be very sharp and crisp with the gist of the storytelling and the like hot take, as you would say it, that how what are we going to get from it, how is it relatable. So it has to be very sharp and crisp, and it has to become that like in with children we used to take moral of the story in the end. So in the end, how it's going to help the audience, that should be the reiteration in the end, last paragraph. That would be just a little bit of improvement. Otherwise, good, very good.
Absolutely. So, the first thing I guess over here, which all of us agree, is that everybody is right from their perspective. Correct? All of us are right from our own perspectives, but yes, all of us have our own tiny twists that we would like to tweak it a little bit so that it suits us. Beautiful. That's where the richness comes in, when ideas collide and sharpen each other. So, before we wrap up, I'd love each of you to give us a final one liner. What's one practical thing trainers should try tomorrow that reflects your hot take? Yes,
Uh,
we can start it with Rahila.
yeah, I would say that trainers should encourage the questions why and how, because that will create space for reasoning and more insights. And it will also trigger the thinking capability of the learner. That's
Great.
it.
Thank you. Yes, Pushpa.
Welcome.
So, as a trader, I think we should all start first knowing the audience well and then begin with our session. That should be one thing everyone, I believe, should do. So, because that is how I think at the beginning the interaction begins and the connection starts.
Perfect. Yes, Simranpreet.
Yes, so trainers, they should encourage the participants to say more, think more critically, and challenge the assumptions, and be more open and comfortable with their own trainers.
Okay. And yes, Abhijit, what about you?
So, yeah, so my hot take in one punchline would be storytelling from the customer's desk, wrapped in a little bit of humor. Because when engagement drops, then humor is one good support to bring it back. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. We have Megha and Divya as our audience over here today. So, yes, Megha, any questions or queries that you would like to put to our panel? Even Divya? It looks like they're pretty clear. Okay. So, before we close the entire thing, how did you feel about today's what do you call training panel that we had? Anyone?
Collaborative, enriching,
Okay.
learning from each other's experience, different perspectives, uh, and another take on the new ways of working, which is virtual.
Yes.
That's how.
Yeah. Anyone else who would like to add?
Yes, so it's always there, knowledge is there, communication is there. But when you sit in such a panel and you exchange ideas, these types of things, they tap on your creativity and productivity. So it's always a new avenue opening. We broaden our horizon by meeting new people, discussing ideas, and it's always engaging and good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Simaprit. Anyone else who would like to add, please? Right. Okay. So let me close by saying this. Hot takes aren't just opinions, they are sparks. Sparks that ignite action, reflection, and growth. Let's take these sparks into our own practice as trainers. Thank you, panelists, and thank you all for being in this session. It's a wrap from Radhika Kota from Atulit Academy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.